Hey, welcome back to DIY Willy. Well, today we got the mini bikes out, and we got some work we're gonna do on them. I would like to compression test Biggs the Briggs cold and then hot, and see what the compression is before I take the engine off and rebuild it. Mighty really wasn't on the schedule for today, but I found my Paul's Karts Hot Coil. It was missing in action since I took it off the 224, and well, I found it, and I want to replace the stock coil that's in Mighty right now. The Hot Coil came with an extra ground strap. Well, the ground strap is still on the 224, so I have this cable here. Now it looks like it might be copper clad wire, aluminum, copper with copper over it, but it'll just be used for a ground. So it's pretty long. I'm going to cut it in half and then put another end on it, and we'll use that for the ground. Now some people say the grounds aren't really necessary because it grounds out through the engine block and the bolts and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, he does sell the ground wire with the hot coil, so he must think there's a need for it. And well, I'll make another one and we'll get it put on Mighty before we get going on Biggs. So taking a look at this, I need to cut it in half, and I have bolt cutters that would cut it fine, but they were used to cut a bolt or a chain or something, and they got kind of damaged, so I don't think they're going to cut this cable too well. I'll probably just use my grinder and grind through it right in the middle. I'll just put the ends together like this and pull it taut to where the split is, cut it, strip it, and then put a new end on it. So I'm going to spare you the time of doing that. I'll just get it done and we'll have it ready to bolt on. This is a stock coil. I think this is the coil that came off the 224 that's in there right now. And yeah, it starts great. If you saw in the video when we put it on, Mighty starts on the first pull or second pull. So yeah, we'll get it off, put this one on, put the ground strap on, and finish up from Mighty today. We might take it for a quick ride and see how well it runs. Mighty's always good when I go for a ride. Goes through a lot of gas though. I probably need a bigger tank for Mighty, similar to what's on Max and Biggs over there. But they do have these tanks that go inside right here. That might be kind of cool. You know, I don't know. I'll have to check it out. So let me get this cut, and we'll get the input on it, and we'll install the coil and the ground strap in Mighty. All right, so we've got the ground wire made now. Got the heat shrink on there. It looks pretty good. I like it. And got the fan shroud off. I'm gonna go ahead and take the coil, and we'll be good to go. Get that off of here. Well, I've got the coil off, and I gotta say, in comparison with the hot coil, the hot coil is considerably larger. You know, even in diameter, and the pickups, everything is different. It's way bigger than the stock coil. Now this is the coil from the 224, so you know, I don't think that makes any difference. It worked, it ran good, but Paul's hot coil is quite a bit larger. Now he claims this has more winding in it, creating a hotter spark, and I can believe it after comparing the size difference on the two coils. They definitely look different in size. Look at that. Yeah. So let me get this one put on. We'll get the ground strap on, and we'll fire it up and see how it runs. I'm sure it's going to run good. I've got the coil on. Paul's Karts recommends 60 thousandths, I believe, on the coil gap. I've got two business cards. That's roughly 60 thousandths. Each card is just a little bit shy of 30 thousandths, I believe. And well, it's close enough. I think it'll be all right. And it's always a good idea when you put it on to put the cards in there, have the coil bolted in but loose, turn the wheel around, the flywheel around to the magnet, let the magnet suck the coil in. It's tighten the back one first, the bottom one first. Like so, and then tighten the top one. And that'll ensure that our gap is good. So I'll just give it a couple extra little like that. Get that thing locked down good and tight. All right, so now we can go ahead and pull the cards out, and we've got our 60 thousandths gap or thereabouts. And it's quite a bit. I mean, if you take a look, it's quite a bit of gap. If you look at it, there's a lot of gap there, but that's what it recommends, and this is where it's going to fire right here. So we'll see how it runs. If it has a problem running, we'll bump it back down to 30 thousandths, but this is where he says to run the hot coil, and we're going to do it. I'll go ahead and connect the ground or the spark plug boot and the ground wire right here, and we'll put the shroud back on and we'll get ready to fire it up. All right, so we'll put some gas in it. I'm using VP Racing engine fuel, or small engine fuels. This is ethanol free, as you can see right there, and it's rated at 94 octane. I used to use the True Fuel, but for some reason, where I used to buy it, you know, the local home store, didn't have it. They had this instead. I like this. I'll use it. Basically the same stuff, I think. It smells the same. There we go. That'll be enough for a test ride. All right, come on, mighty. Turn that gas on. See, we get some gas down in the carburetor. Got the choke. Kill switch is on. Pull it past the compression. Oh, almost. There we go. Too full? No. Sounds good. I really need to stiffen the forks on this one too, like I did on Max. That worked out really well. That Hot Coil in there is working and doing a good job. Man, I gotta say, Mighty has some power, man. That really is impressive to ride. Wow. Now I have another engine build for Mighty with a flat top piston. I think it's a 265 cam. May do something different with the carburetor, much like I did on the 224 and the 79cc. New billet rod, flywheel, all the good stuff, you know. There's even a 14cc head with some stainless steel valves. I'll go ahead and pour it and polish it. And yeah, looking forward to that build. I have everything ready to get started on that build anytime. However, I did plan on working on Biggs the Briggs first. But the parts are taking a little while. That 94 cam, I guess they didn't have the billet blanks to fabricate the cam with, so it's going to be probably another month out before I get that. I have everything else ready for it. I could start the build and just get the block cleaned up and do all the valve work and the porting and all that kind of stuff, you know, get that out of the way while I wait for the cam. And then I would put the life and 3-horse engine on there and work with that engine for a little while. So I'm not really sure. It'd be fun to do another engine build for Mighty. I don't have a lot of Mighty content out there lately, and yeah, it's time to get it back on the channel, you know. Max has had a lot of the channel time, so it's gonna get some more, you know. Biggs the Brig's gonna get rebuilt in the life, and it'll be fun to play with. But gotta remember that's on the back burner right now. And well, maybe not even on the back burner. I may go ahead once I get Biggs off of there and broken down. I might go ahead and start the 212 build. I don't know. But the coil worked out great. The gap seemed to be okay. The ground wire's there. I mean, it should be a really strong spark, and I'm happy with it. It's got a massive amount of acceleration. For a little bike like this, it runs very good. As you can see, I still need to paint it. The swing arm is starting to get rusty. I've got some bare metal spots that are rusty. So I need to break it down and paint it too, or maybe even get it powder coated. I don't know. And the rims could use another paint. They're looking kind of faded and gray, but Mighty's an amazing bike. Should stiffen up those forks a little bit because it is kind of loose, and need to put some air in the shock in the back. The air's bled out and now it's kind of soft. But Mighty is an amazing bike. That MM80 frame, the way that I've got it built, is just great to ride. I wish we had some events on this side, on the west coast out here, where I could maybe learn to ride it better and actually use it in some type of event or something, you know, or if there were shows or something, you know, really cool stuff. But so far I haven't found any of that over here on the west coast. But I have fun building it. It's here. And well, now it's time to work on Biggs the Briggs over there. I got my my compression test equipment out, and we're gonna see if we can compression test it, see what kind of compression it's got cold. Then we'll take it for a ride, warm it up, and we'll see what kind of compression it's got warmed up. That way we have some comparison for when we rebuild the engine. All right, let's get going. Let's go riding. See, gas on, choke on, switch on, a little bit of gas. Always starts on the first pull. Gotta put the big sand up. That clutch makes a lot of noise. Gotta obey the rules. Upside. Oops. I forgot to check how much gas. I hope I got enough gas. I forgot to check. We'll turn it around right here and go back. I should have brought my phone. The GPS speed. Woohoo! Max! Go, Biggs, go! Somebody gonna throw a rod. This is so much fun. Put it back. I don't know how much gas I got. Glad I put the larger tank though. Go Biggs. Speed bump. Wow, that was a good time. Let me turn my hat around. That was a good time. Biggs really gets out, man. Runs good. Mighty. Oh no, that's Mighty. This is Max. I'm a little excited. I love riding. Biggs is running great. Look forward to doing the rebuild on it and the refresh, dressing it up a little bit. Now you'll be able to hear me talk. Look forward to doing the refresh on it. Yeah, Biggs is so much fun. He and Max can work out so well together. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words because I enjoy riding so much. So yeah, we're gonna get out there, get Biggs out. I'm gonna look around for the parts to do the compression test. I still want to do that before I break it down, and we'll have to grab the GPS next time and take it for a ride and see what we can get Biggs up to with Max. Yeah, I know with the 224 in here, Max got up to 53 miles an hour, I believe. So I don't think Biggs is gonna get that high, but it feels like at least 30 or a little over 30 miles an hour. So that was a fun day of working on the mini bikes. Got the coil swapped out, the ground wire installed on Mighty. Got a little ride in on it. Took Max out for a little. I got two bikes. I'm hard to keep the two separated. Got Max out for a little ride with Biggs and Briggs, and it was a lot of fun. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Always subscribe if you haven't already, and come back to DIY Willy for your mini bike needs and small engines and Briggs and Stratton, and it's all good. I'll see you next time. Bye.